Did you ever catch yourself doubling up on losing trades, convinced that you'll get it back? What if you just go a little bit bigger? Or maybe you keep hopping in and out of the market, hoping to chase the next big leg. Well, that's revenge trading and overtrading. And it's one of the fastest ways to drain your funded account. In part 3 of this 4-part series, I'm going to show you why this happens and how my students have collectively pulled $2 million in profits. Don't miss it. Let's go. Okay, let's talk about revenge trading and overtrading. So what triggers revenge trading? We found that it's frustration, it's anger, it's greed, it's feeling fatigued. All of these are very linked together, aren't they? These triggers, frustration, anger, greed, fatigue, these are very powerful, very strong emotions and triggers. And it reminds me of our instinctual responses, our default responses to survive, the fight or flight response. Because think about how our ancestors were living. When they would go hungry, they would experience fatigue. When there wasn't food around, they had to go hunting whilst they were fatigued. So it triggers some anger sometimes. It triggers stress and anxiety. It triggers frustration for our ancestors when they went hunting and they failed, right? And so we need these emotions to keep us going sometimes, because that's going to help us in survive. Now, in trading, you want to avoid these as much as possible. And being aware of them is good, but actually having a plan in place, systems in place, in order for you to avoid the domino effect of actually taking action on these. Because if you're feeling angry, fatigued, greedy, frustrated, and you are actually revenge trading, then obviously this is a problem. And in some cases, you're aware that you're angry or you're feeling greed or you're fatigued, and you have that urge, that desire to revenge trade, but you stop yourself. Now, this is good, but you want that to be consistent. And you know, having poor sleep, having poor diet, not exercising, you're going to have very low energy levels. And when you're tired and fatigued, it triggers this wanting to fight, this wanting to revenge trade. You might be desperate. If you're in a desperate situation financially, or you know, your quality of life, then you're very prone to revenge trading. So you got to be aware of where you are desperate, because you want to avoid risk. You want to avoid trading, because it will lead to costly mistakes. Having conflict with others, we found that a lot of traders, when they have an argument with their spouse, people at work, clients, customers, when it comes to trading, they take it out on the trades. They take it out on their own trading, and so they end up revenge trading. They end up just aggressively fighting the market. And it's because they're dealing with the stress and frustration from conflict with others. Sometimes that conflict is with yourself. So you need to demonstrate more self-awareness and self-love, self-worth, because a conflict with yourself can lead to revenge trading. And revenge trading is not that easy to get rid of. The fight or flight response is something that I've already discussed, but essentially it's the part of the brain that's called the amygdala that is fired up, right? It actually enlarges when we experience this. And when your amygdala is fired up, you're there to survive. You're very impulsive. And so you're going to want to get back those losses, and you want them now. And you're not thinking rationally. So your higher level thinking is blocked by your emotional driven thinking. You're so highly charged in emotion that there's no way that your high level thinking and your frontal lobe, you're not going to be able to access that rational thinking. And so when we experience the fight or flight response, it is linked to short-term memory loss. How crazy is that? You actually forget. your trading plan. You forget your rules. You forget what you're supposed to do. If that is something that you've experienced, that sort of short-term memory loss, you end up becoming someone else. If that's something you've experienced, comment below. Some of the solutions include sticking to your trading plan. Limit your trades every single day, every single session. Have a limit in place. Don't trade outside of your session. Whatever you've backtested, stick to the sessions where you are most profitable. You can't possibly trade every single session. Even trading 2 sessions, it's a lot. It's a lot on the mind, on the body. There's only so many decisions you can make in a day. Ensure that you review and backtest your strategies. Forward test, stress test, constantly test, because backtesting is the training for the athlete. Okay, so backtesting is what a trader should do in order to keep themselves sharp, right? In order for them to understand their edge. And it's more about warming up the joints, warming up the flow, so that when you are trading, you're in that flow state. You know what you're doing. You've done it a million times already. So ensure that you're constantly reviewing and backtesting your strategies. Ensure that you validate your trades. So don't just jump into trades. Ensure that you validate them. Have your playbook in front of you. Have examples of what a good trade, a valid trade looks like, and compare that to what you're seeing. And if there's any differences or variations if there's some certain hard rules that are not there, certain hard confluences that if it's not there, it lowers the validity of that trade, then don't take it, avoid it. You are most likely trying to revenge trade, especially if you just experience a loss. It's important to detach from the outcomes. If you're obsessed with the outcome, then this is a problem, okay? Detach from it. Develop ways of detaching. And if you're struggling with ways to detach from the outcome, then reach out to us. This is what we specialize in. We specialize in providing you the accountability that you need, the tools that you need. And reporting to a coach on a daily basis, it is such a cure for so many problems, especially in revenge trading, because when you've taken your losses, you've hit your limit for the day, report to the coach. What's he going to tell you? He's going to tell you, come back another day, don't worry. And just hearing that sometimes is enough for you to realize, yeah, I'm going to walk away. It's important to protect your emotional states. Again, focus on your sleep, diet, exercise, relationships, journal, meditate often, pray. You know, all of these things are going to allow you to have more balance in your emotional states. Focus on quarterly, yearly progress. This really helps in avoiding rushing the process and revenge trading. And save your emotional and capital resources. Always think, I need to be prepared and ready for the next 5 sessions. Always plan ahead. Okay, don't use up all your resources by revenge trading in that one session. You don't need to make back those losses straight away. No trade is better than a bad trade. So avoid taking trades for the sake of getting back your profits, for the sake of getting back your money. Right? It's not worth it. You're way better off staying out. That's a wrap of part 3 of our free training. Now you know the hidden triggers behind revenge trading and overtrading, and how they can cripple your journey to consistent profits. Use the practical solutions that we've discussed to stay disciplined and in control of your trading decisions once and for all. Next, we've got the final installment, part 4, covering the critical topic of not following the trading plan. If you're serious about leveling up, you can't afford to miss it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.